Taken from his album Lullaby and The Ceaseless Road, that's Robert Plant and Little Maggie. I saw him at Glastonbury. Well, I wasn't in the Field of Muds, I was watching it at home, and it looked pretty good to me. Going to see him in November and looking forward to that gig very, very much. In the studio tonight, we have a band called the Skunnered. We're getting into the realms of kind of folky, rocky kind of thing, so we are. The guys have been in since about 9:15 and they've been practicing, and I think these are in for a treat.
And I'll walk along the broomy law, may help to clear my thinking. Good morning to you, Glasgow. Now the city only sleeps on Sunday morning. A clockwork orange will take me round and round. And I'll walk along the broomy law, may help to clear my thinking. Good morning to you, Glasgow town. Good morning to you, Glasgow town. Good morning to you, Glasgow town. Good morning to you, Glasgow town.
That's taken from the first album from the Skunner. That's the title track of the morning. Good morning, Glasgow Town. Now, I have in the studio, I've got Chaz, who's the bass man. I've got Andrew, who is the guitar, and I think he's got the mandolin with him today. And we have Paul as well on guitar. Now, I'll come to you first, Chaz. Oh. Where did you get the name the Skunner from?
That was 4 pints, 2 hours, 1 sheet of paper, sitting in a bar.
And you came up with the Skunner?
Not just me. Me and a fella called Nick Aarons, who used to be in the band. We went through a lot of lame names until we came up with one we were happy with.
I've just got this picture of you guys sitting there and you go through all these names and somebody just says, I'm for a Skunner with this, you know?
Didn't quite work.
Not quite work that way,
I think if I recall correctly, I came up with the Skunners.
Yeah.
And he said, no, the Skunnered. Past tense. So there you go.
Yeah. Andrew, how long have the band been gone?
6-7 years, I believe, we've been kind of playing together. Initially it was Chaz, Nick and I. Then we brought Andy on board too as a drummer who, unfortunately, for reasons we don't want to get into, he can't be here tonight.
That's okay, that's okay.
And somewhere along the line, Nick decided that young family coming into play, he already has a daughter, but he had another baby boy coming in, and he thought, I really better sort of chuck this and take my time out with my family.
And that's showbiz.
But that was showbiz, but in a sense his loss was our gain, because then we have
Paul. And that was about just coming up for 6 years ago now.
As much as that, it could be.
So you've been together as a band for a long, long time.
Yeah. I think the secret of our longevity is the fact that because we're all that bit older, perhaps, we've lost a lot of the kind of teenage angst and...
You speak for yourself.
And all that.
You never lose that.
Right.
I mean, it was my birthday yesterday, and my wife says, maybe you'll start to act your age. I went... I'm still 27 in my head.
27 as old as that, Ronnie?
Yep, that's a hard paper round. Very, very hard paper round, guys. Anyway, you're going to perform some songs tonight.
Yes, we thought we'd do that.
And what's the first song going to be?
Again, from our first album. This is, in fact, the opening track. It's called The Road to Aberdeen.
The phone mast had its trees. Took an urgent call that morning. I was needed fast offshore. I slammed down 6 strong coffees. I headed for the door. On the road, on the road. Driving on, driving on, driving on. Now my wife thinks I'm crazy. The kids I never see, but they're never going hungry. that's good enough for me. I know about the black spots, the cameras won't catch me. Got my pedal to the metal, and I'm heading out to sea. On the road, on the road, on the road. Driving on, driving on, driving on. Buzzing, fractured songs are cutting through, punctuated by commercials, always too good to be true. Somewhere around the corner I should have the coast in sight, and though it pains to say it, I'll not see my bed tonight. On the road, on the road, on the road. Driving on, driving on, driving on. My petrol's running low. I'll carry on regardless, there's not that far to go. I see the lights before me, I go above and seen. My journey almost over, this life of Aberdeen. On the road, on the road, on the road. Driving on, driving on, driving on.
Good song. I mean, how did that song come about? I mean, I've got this vision. I've driven to Aberdeen quite a lot, and when you're getting to like Stonehaven, you're getting tired, and all of a sudden you drive up and you start to see all the lights. Is that kind of what the song was going when you wrote it, or well, am I totally off base?
There was a collaboration at the time with Nick and Chaz, to be honest. And I think Nick had a...
Well, what happened was, I was coming off the motorway, the A725, and there was a sign saying 10 miles to Sturton, 5 miles to Neilson. I stay in Neilson, okay? And as often happens, the first couple of lines of the song just floated into my head out of nowhere. Well, I'm 10 miles out to Sturton, but my petrol's running low. 5 miles left to Neilson, and there's not that far to go. And I thought, aha, there's a song there. Right, okay. That night I went round to Nick's house, and the two of us sat with two acoustic guitars, and my son, Daniel, sitting in between us with a pen and paper, and we just kept battering out the chords, shouting out lines, and Daniel wrote them all down. Nick had felt that my idea of Neilson and Stewart was far too parochial. He said, let's make it further away. Aberdeen. So
I can understand that.
Yeah.
So I can understand
Hence it became a journey from somewhere in the Central Belt up to Aberdeen.
Yeah. Do you find writing songs together easy?
It's kind of funny sometimes. And as Chaz alluded to there, what we tend to do is we tend to take Chaz's songs, we think, well, that's a good bit, tell the tune to bits, and then start all over again.
Well, that's what you do anyway.
That's what I do, aye.
Yeah, I write, 70-80% of the songs, but the rest is in collaboration.
Yes.
And Andrew has this habit of taking a song that I have written, ripping it to shreds, as he says, and putting it back together again. A good example is Good Morning Glasgow Town that you started off with there.
Yeah.
I was out walking my dog in the hills of Neilston, and it was a rainy Sunday morning, and I could see Glasgow in the distance, and I said to myself, good morning Glasgow Town, it's a rainy Sunday morning, just like so many others through the years. And I thought, song!
Wow.
Dragged the dog back home, got a guitar out, got a pen and paper, started writing. There were about 3 or 4 lines that I couldn't think of, and I had a little tune, and I sent it to Andrew, and Andrew duly filled in the 3 or 4 lines.
Yeah.
threw away my tune. To be fair, you didn't know I had a tune.
I didn't know you had a tune.
Right.
I just sat there with the words in front of me, and it was like a gift from God. Actually, it was really, really quite bizarre. I sat there with these words in front of me and got the guitar out, and it kind of came within 15-20 minutes. I had more or less the whole idea of the tune pretty much set, and it's not.
And his
changed
tune
that
was
much.
10 times better than the one I had, so we just forgot about mine. The only thing I can remember about that tune now is you started in minor and then moved to major, whereas my tune started in major then moved to minor. But that's all I can remember about it now, because your tune just swamped it completely.
And you do realise that has just went totally over my head. Me being talentless when it comes to all that.
Sorry, musical stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, going to take a track from your second album, and of course, Best Laid Plans. I love the title.
Yes, you know where that one came from. There's a distinct Burns influence on the album.
Yes.
Apart from the fact it also has a kind of whatever of our songwriting, kind of whatever.
We also think that the title Best Laid Plans represented just how the album came together or evolved.
Evolved. Yeah.
Every song started off as one thing and ended up as another. It started off with one singer, ended up as another.
Ain't
and
that the
everything.
truth? Yeah.
And it was kind of like our Best Laid Plans just kind of drifted from. That was a good thing.
Yeah, does that happen like when you're writing a song and Andrew might be putting it like for his vocals, and then you practice it and you say, oh, hold on, no, that's not going to work, and it ends up going to Paul.
Occasionally
things happen by accident, or don't even know by accident, but sometimes one of the songs we do is Wrecking Ball, and Chaz had been singing this song for years, and to be honest, I kind of thought, it's a nice wee song, but never really thought any more of it. And I found this wee riff, and when I added the riff to the song, it changed the song.
Yeah.
And then when Paul came in, he added that bit more to it, and it just made it so complete. And a lot of the songs have kind of happened like that one way or another.
That's very true.
Yeah. Well, we'll take the track from the second album, from the album by the Skunnered, Best Laid Plans. This is The Coldest Corner. Taken from the album Best Laid Plans by my guest tonight in session. They are the Skunnered. Now, guys, very atmospheric track there.
Oh, yes. That was basically Paul's arrangement of it. You were saying that you felt a bit of...
Yeah, well, a bit of Chris Isaac. We were sitting there, and there was a wee element of, if you know the song Wicked Game, just that haunting kind of thing. And I think I started off... The song was totally different before that. And I started off just giving it a wee kind of... Just wee picks like that, and then a wee bit of slide guitar in it.
Now, you could...
grew its own arms and legs for there,
You could definitely, from the track I played from the first album, you can definitely hear a change in style and a change in production.
Yeah.
Now, you were saying there, you've got people backing singers, you've got saxophone on tracks on this album.
Yes,
how do you... When you write the song, you're obviously writing it acoustically. Yeah. How do you work on, how do you realise where you're taking the song when you go into the studio?
We don't.
I love it.
Generally, I would write the song on one acoustic guitar, then run through it with the guys. At this point, they will change things, adapt things, slow it down, speed it up, add solos, blah, blah, blah. Then once we're in the studio, we generally get a fair idea then of this song would suit a violin. And that's what happened with Young Charlie, for example. There's a certain melodic part on it. We tried it with the guitar, we tried it with the mandolin, and we were saying, no. And eventually our engineer said, look guys, you're needing a violin there. And Paul said, I know a violin player.
Yeah.
Presto.
Magic.
And that's why we ended up with the violin player in the last track.
I ask every band this question. You record your new album, you listen to it back for the first time. What do you think? What goes through your head when you listen to it back?
The problem is that you listen to it in stages as it's been developed, and what you do is you road test it. Basically, goes in the car on the CD, and you drive around. You think, no, change this, change that.
No pun intended, I guess.
No.
Not really.
And once, so that it gradually evolves, and it maybe just at the end you think, you look back and you think, oh, that's actually quite good.
The first listen through, you're listening technically.
Yeah.
You're listening for mastering. Are all the songs at the same volume level? You're listening for mistakes. Oh goodness, who played that note there? Or whatever.
Usually me.
or fades. Do they fade out nicely into each other? That sort of thing. The technical issues. The second time through, you may be actually listening, trying to appreciate it.
Yes.
It's very difficult when you're one of the people who's so close to it to judge the whole thing.
Yeah.
There has to be someone.
You just let it loose into the world and hope that everybody enjoys it.
And it's had some nice reviews, I have to say.
We've actually, some of those songs you can find if you just search for the Skunnered online, but you can find them on our webpage on Reverb Nation.
Yep.
And it has been played by someone in Tampa Bay in Florida.
Indeed.
And she's been blasting it to the neighbours, you know.
Great.
So she says, I hope the neighbours don't mind. So
we get listeners all around the world. In fact, Good Morning Glasgow Town had 1.4 million listeners on Reverb Nation. Good. Which has helped us to a rather high standing there. We're quite high in their charts.
Now, you're going to perform another track from the second album.
Yeah. This is the only track that we didn't write ourselves because it was written by a certain gentleman called Robbie Burns.
I think we may know him.
Can you talk about how this came about?
Well, actually, this came about because I'd been sort of playing about with this song, and this was my vision of what would happen if Robbie Burns were to meet somebody like Bill Haley and the Comets, or something like that. So we kind of come up with this notion, and I kind of eventually got the guys on board. Paul kind of refined it, the arrangement a bit, and that's what we've got.
So this is
The Deals of War,
which we should say means the devil's away with the exciseman. So this is sort of where the party starts.
Okay.
Because well, if I'm right, the drink would be tax free at this point. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
1, 2, 3, and.
The prize man, the deals of war, deals of war, deals of war. The big size man, he stands to war, dance to war, dance to war with the big size man. Through our drink we'll laugh, sing and rejoice, man. Many brought thanks to the mock-up-like deal who stands to war with the size man. The deals of war, deals of war, deals of war with the size man. He stands to war, dance to war, dance to war with the size man. Some reels, for some reels there's on pipes as the spaceman. They the best dance to come in the land. Deals of war, the big size man. Then deals of war, deals of war, deals of war, the big size man. He stands to war, dance to war, dance to war, the big size man. Deals of war, deals of war, deals of war, deals of war, deals of war,
Deals of war,
deals of war,
deals of war,
deals of war,
deals of war,
the deals of war,
the deals of war,
the Deals a war.
He shot the crop.
Deals a war.
He kicked the ball.
The deals a war.
And then you move.
That deals a war.
Ah, the deal's a war.
The deals a war. Deals a war. Deals a war. The big size man, he's danced a war. Dance a war. Dance a war. The big size man, then deals a war. Deals a war. Deals a war. The big size man, he's danced a war. Dance a war. Dance a war. The big size man.
I can imagine that's quite good live when you've got a good audience there. That sounds like a kind of sing-along track.
Oh, yes. We get that from time to time. We're playing just after the New Year at Ivory Blacks.
Yeah, good venue, yeah.
It was a benefit night for the Clutha.
Yes.
And we opened with that one, and the place was all going, what?
Jump in.
Oh, they like that. Yeah.
It takes a bit of electric guitar in there, you know, the acoustic approach isn't really... It's the norm, is it?
Yeah. We kind of miss Andy as well, to be fair.
Yeah, we got a bit of drums in there.
Yeah.
So we just thought, seeing as we're in Ayrshire, you know, we'll
do a Burns
stick
song
with the Burns stuff for a bit.
So we're going to play another track from the Skunnered album, Best Laid Plans, and I'm trying to remember the track we agreed. The Ploughman.
It's the Ploughman.
Aye, staying in the Burns theme.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Ploughman is, of course, Robbie Burns himself.
Yes, and we'll play that right now. As a track there from the Skunnered, their album Best Laid Plans, and that was, of course, about Robbie Burns. That's called The Ploughman.
Yep.
Guys, you're going to be doing quite a few dates over the next wee while. Would you like to tell the listeners or everybody out there listening online where they can see the Skunnered play?
Right, okay, takes deep breath, stands back. This Saturday we're in the Carfin Vaults in Carfin, nowhere near here.
Somewhere near Motherwell.
Yeah. Then Sunday the 14th we're in Blinny's Bar in Shotts. Then the following Friday we're in the Burrell Bar in Shawlands. And then Saturday the 20th we're in the Cartvale in Busby. We're taking the month of October off. Various reasons for that.
Got to have a holiday.
Actually, holidays is one of the various reasons. November the 2nd, the Anchor Bar in Paisley. November the 5th, the Old Swan in Paisley. November the 8th, the Waterside Inn in Dumbarton. Saturday the 15th, back to the Cartvale and in Busby. And then Sunday the 16th, the Lismore, which is one of our favourite ones to do.
That's a great place.
We've had some fabulous times there. Yeah. Into December, the 6th, back to the Carfin again. The 27th, the Alton Inn in Kilwinning.
Yes!
Not a million miles away from here.
Definitely not a million miles from where I stay as well.
Iceland, if you're listening. And then Hogmanay, as ever, we're in the West End Hotel in Dunoon, where we tend to bring in Hogmanay.
Fantastic, guys.
Hostelries, is that the word? Down here, if any are good inns and bigger pubs with like a good band, let us know.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Contact Ronnie, he'll pass it on.
I will pass it on, yes. So, guys, you're going to do one more song for us, and I heard you saying that you were going to do a cover.
Well, we've been doing our own songs, so we thought we'd finish on a cover. This is a well-known tune by a chap called Steve Earle.
Oh, yes.
And it's the Galway Girl.
Take it away, guys.
Now I took a stroll down the old long walk of a day, hi, hey, hi, hey. And I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on a fine soft day, hi, hey. And I asked your friend, what's a fella to do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill prom with the Galway girl. Halfway there when the rain came down of a day, and she asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day, and ask your friend, what's a fella to do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? So I took her hand and I gave it a twirl, and I lost my heart to a Galway girl. was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. So I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue, and I traveled around all over this world? More, I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl. Okay.
Fantastic version of a great Steve Earle song. I love Steve Earle. So that was pretty good. Guys, thanks for coming down all the way.
A pleasure, Ronnie.
And I've no doubt we'll see you again sometime. And I will see you in December.
Excellent. Look forward to it.
Up at the Alton. And good wee venue. They're getting a good reputation for some good live music there.
We're looking forward to it ourselves.
Yep. There we had it on Irvine BFM. On the album show this Wednesday night, we had the Skunnered in session. Thanks a lot to Andrew, Chaz and Paul for coming in. And it was nice of you to play the track, for you to pick the track that your drummer's on, that your drummer sung on. Just so he didn't feel left out. Yeah. Anyway, guys,
I hope you can make it next time.
Yes. Thanks a lot, guys. All the best.
At the heart of your community, Irvine Beat